Am I the a-hole for kicking my ex out of my house when she tried to attend the memorial thing we were doing for my daughter? My daughter recently passed away. Everything is still so fresh, and we just buried her a month ago. My sweet angel was only 4, and it still kills me every day. So maybe this is why my reaction was too strong, or I don't know. My ex-wife took off when my daughter was a year old. She said she realized she wasn't ready to be a mom yet, and it was all too overwhelming for her. We divorced, and she never asked for any sort of visitation. Her family are the only people I kept in contact with for my daughter's sake. They were in communication with her, but even they couldn't get her to come around. I'm still holding a lot of resentment towards her for leaving us. Initially, I was against allowing her into the funeral, but her family convinced me and at least she didn't try to approach me or sit next to me. My family was invited to come to my house for an after-funeral type of thing. Just for everyone to be together, eat some of my daughter's favorite food and other home-cooked meals made by my mom. Truth is, I didn't want to be alone. My family understood that, so that's why they organized it. Then my ex shows up, and my anger just flares up. My sister had seen her at the funeral, so she invited her over. I first got mad at my sister because she knows I don't want her around me, then told my ex to get out of my house. My ex didn't want to because she's also grieving and in need of support, and I told her then she can get it from her own family. But that's just not welcome here. I yelled at her to get out because I don't want her anywhere near me again. She's still insisting she stay because her family won't give her that support. I had to go to my daughter's grave then and comfort herself. My sister took her finally and they both left, but my mom wasn't happy. Neither were a few of our mutual friends. They get him in the middle of my grief, but still they think it was a huge overreaction to yell at her like that, then keep her from getting any support when she probably deeply regrets not being there. Not sure if it's my stubbornness telling me I'm in the right, or if I'm actually wrong in this scenario. So I thought maybe for people who aren't emotionally involved, they'd be able to give a better verdict. Am I the a-hole? Now for the verdict. Not the a-hole. Very telling about her personality that she thought it would be appropriate to come over, even if she was invited. And refused to leave when told by the grieving father. Repeatedly. Not the a-hole, Opie. I'm sorry for your loss. Not the a-hole. Let it out, my friend. Hiding it and holding it in will be worse for you in the long run. You set a boundary and it was crossed. I'd be angry too. You feel however you need to feel, for as long as you need to. I'm so sorry for what you've lost and what you're going through. I hope you're getting all the support you need. Everyone else in my family has been giving me amazing support. Mostly my older brother. He lost his son in 2015 and knows exactly what I'm going through. Has your sister maintained contact with your ex that you're aware of? This sounds like it was an attempt at forced reconciliation in an environment where they could use the excuse of her grief as a means of leverage, even at the expense of your own. Something is very off here, and I'm so sorry you had to experience it the way you did. Not the a-hole. I'm not sure, maybe. They were close before we divorced. My sister never mentioned anything, and I never asked. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not helping my ex with her new child? I, 27 male, and my ex, 26 female, had a very rocky relationship. We were together for 3 years and I thought everything was going great. Until she decided to get with one of her best friends. I did kick her out and got the locks changed. She came and got her stuff while I was home. We blocked one another and do not keep in touch. Some of our mutual friends still hang with her, and one told me that she was currently pregnant. I wasn't shocked as she and the guy spent a lot of time together. I was invited to attend a party and saw her with her friend. She did look my way a few times, but I completely ignored her. Before the party ended, she approached me and asked if we could talk. I agreed to be polite, but then she asked if I could help her out with a child. I told her no. It wasn't my responsibility, and wished her good luck. She started crying and her friend came over to see what was going on. I left the party and texted a mutual friend that I didn't want to be at the same event. Am I the a-hole for not helping my ex with her new child? Edit. I want to clear things up for those asking if it's my child or not. She and this other guy friend have been together for about a month before we broke up. If the child is mine, I would definitely help out. I'm going to bring up the idea of a DNA test. More info needed. Is there a possibility this is your child? Edit. Based on what's been said since, you're the a-hole, as it could be your child considering you're getting a paternity test. They kicked her out about 3 weeks ago. Most people don't even know they're pregnant till 6 to 8 weeks, so I'd say a good chance it's his if they were active. Wow, You only kicked her out within the last 24 days based off a previous post. There's a solid chance that's your kid. Unless y'all were not active, way more info needed for this. Yes, more info is needed. Why are you sure it's not yours? What are you gonna do if you find out it's yours? We need more details. If you weren't active for the recent months and you know she cheated on you, there might be a chance that it's not yours. I'm gonna go with a controversial "you're the a-hole." Based on your post history, you broke up less than a month ago. Many don't even know they're pregnant until 5 to 6 weeks, so there's good chances the kid is yours. You have a responsibility to your child, even if you hate their mother. This means either being involved in their life or stepping away and paying child support. You don't get to say the child you helped make is not your responsibility, simply because you're no longer with the mother. Of course, there are chances it isn't yours, but from the info you've given, it doesn't seem you took the time to confirm this before deciding. If you update saying there's already been a DNA test or you guys haven't been intimate in a long time, I'll for sure change my vote to not the a-hole. Edit. Changed voting due to update. Agree with others that him ghosting her without DNA test and leaving out key information from original post is kinda sketchy. However, he's ready to do the right thing and is obviously hurt by all this, so I say cut him some slack. Next story is titled, "Am I the a-hole for refusing to ask my husband for details about his brother's funeral so my sister and niece can attend?" 3 years ago, it came out that my married brother-in-law was having an affair with my sister because she decided to contact my in-laws to announce her pregnancy to them. It also turned out that some of my family knew and were helping it to happen. When it all came out, my brother-in-law threw my sister under the bus and completely cut her off. He had nothing to do with his daughter and neither did his family. My sister and some family members went on a rampage and sent his heavily pregnant wife nasty messages and evidence of their affair. In the end, I was put in a position where I had to choose between cutting off my entire family, even the ones who had no knowledge of the affair, or losing my marriage. My husband and I are currently going through a divorce, so yeah. My brother-in-law recently passed away. My sister, who is still convinced that he loved her and they were soulmates, is desperate to go to his funeral. She claims she wants to go so her daughter can say goodbye to her father. She knows his family won't give her any information, so she is pushing me to ask my husband for information since he has been contacting me a lot recently. I refused to, because I don't want to be put in the middle of any more of her drama. She's already costed me a lot. My sister is now lashing out at me, but surprisingly my parents, who are appalled by her affair, are also on her side. They think I should find out for my niece's sake. Am I the a-hole for continuing to refuse? Not the a-hole. If he and his family had nothing to do with your niece, she really has no one to say goodbye to. Your sister just wants to go make a scene. It's not your job to help her turn a memorial service into the Jerry Springer show. Right? The nieces too. This isn't about her. She doesn't know anything about this man. There is no benefit to taking her to the funeral. In fact, she would almost certainly be a distraction. Almost as big of a disruption as Opie's sister, who is apparently hell-bent on causing more pain to Opie's ex's family at the funeral. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. But boy, your family really needs some therapy sessions as a group. Info. You said your brother-in-law and family had cut your sister and niece completely out and had nothing to do with them. Did your niece ever meet her father? Know who he was? Your sister is living in some fantasy world where she thinks they were a family. If the arrangements are made in a paper or online obituary, tell her to look there. You don't need to make your divorce any harder. Tell your sister and family you only have contact through lawyers now with your soon-to-be ex, and probably won't be given that information. No, she never met him. I need clarification. While I understand that not everyone in your family knew and are innocent, the rest of your family are distasteful. Your sister made her bed and should lie in it, and now it's cost you your marriage. Your brother-in-law should have been held responsible as well for the affair/pregnancy, but I don't understand why you chose them over your own happiness. I chose my parents, not the rest of them. I told my husband I wouldn't cut them off no matter what. I think things would have blown over, but my sister just wouldn't stop and kept making things worse. It cost you your marriage. I don't understand why you chose them over your own happiness. It didn't cost her her marriage. No one outside of your marriage can end it. What ended her marriage is her husband placing completely unreasonable one-sided demands on her on threat of divorce. He demanded that she not only cut her cheating sister and enabling family out, He also demanded that she cut out innocent family members, including her own parents and her newborn niece who his deadbeat cheating brother abandoned. Meanwhile, he remained in contact with his deadbeat cheating brother and didn't hold him responsible nor stepped up for his niece. It says a lot about his morals and commitment, or lack thereof. This man threw away his marriage to Opie because she wouldn't cut off her parents after his brother cheated on his pregnant wife and abandoned his child. I'm not sure there was much happiness to be found with him. Not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for taking in my sister's family against my girlfriend's wishes? So my 30 male, sister 29 female, had to renovate her house due to a tree crashing down and taking out the roof, and she asked me if she and her family, niece 9 female, nephew 5 male, and brother-in-law 32 male, could move in with me. I didn't see an issue with this as I have more than enough space at my place. 5-bedroom house. So I said sure if they can chip in on bills like electricity and internet. They agreed, and they've been here for about 2 weeks now. Yes, I didn't clear this with my girlfriend, 28 female, and she's mad about that, but hear me out. My girlfriend doesn't even live with me. She rents an apartment that's closer to her work, and we've only been dating for 3 months, so I didn't feel the need to ask her. If she did live with me, of course I would have asked her. Well, yeah, she's fairly upset, since she feels that my sister and her family is invading our space, and she no longer feels welcome at my home with kids running around and 2 adults she doesn't know all that much. To me, my sister is my family, and I was able and willing to help out, but my girlfriend still thinks I should have cleared it with her before just saying yes. Personally, I don't think it's an issue, but my girlfriend thinks I'm the a-hole even though we rarely spend time at my house anyways, due to her not wanting to drive back home to sleep or to wake up earlier to drive to work. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. It's your house. She doesn't live there. You're helping your family. It doesn't sound like a permanent thing. They're contributing to bills and are just in need of assistance. Girlfriend should recognize you're a good family man helping and not make it about her. Thank you. Yeah, it'll only be until the renovations are good, but the weather has been pretty bad lately, so they're thinking it'll take 2 to 3 months. Don't know how all that works, but I'm happy to house my sister in the meanwhile. Girlfriend is kind of throwing up some red flags, especially for a 3-month-old relationship. 3 months in and she's referring to his house as our space? That's a pretty massive red flag. Not today, home. You're doing something kind for your sister and her family in your house. Plus, it's only temporary. Your girlfriend doesn't live there, and you've only been dating 3 months. It's ridiculous that she thinks she should have a say in the matter. Thank you. My thoughts exactly. Like, if she actually did live with me, I'd say she should have some weight for the final decision. But since she doesn't, I didn't really feel the need to ask. Came in thinking differently with your title, but no, you're not today home. Your girlfriend doesn't even live with you, and y'all had only been dating for 3 months. She's acting awfully entitled for someone who actually has no say in who you bring into your house. Also, good on you, Opie, for helping your sister out in her time of need. A tree wrecking her room must have sucked a lot. Thank you. Yeah, my sister was an emotional wreck when it happened, and called me up crying in the middle of the night since I'm the only family in our city. Of course I'll help her out. She's my sister, who I actually like and love spending time with, and I love my niece and nephew. And my brother-in-law's pretty cool. He was my friend from even before he married my sister. No ill will, just stating what's up. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my in-laws I didn't sign up to be their babysitter when I married my husband? My husband and I had a baby boy 6 months ago. I decided to leave my job and became a stay-at-home mom. Before I left my job and before our son, my husband's brothers and sister had all pressured me to be their emergency contact for their kids' school. And even asked me to leave work early sometimes to babysit their kids after school. I always said no, because working in a daycare doesn't mean I can leave whenever I want, which they appeared to think could happen. Plus, they liked the idea of someone with a degree in child development and care being in charge of their kids. But now that I no longer work, it's even more an ordeal. My husband sat them down and told them I am not their personal and free babysitter. They cannot expect me to wrangle all their kids, all the different schools myself, and that they need to keep paying like always. It didn't help, so he spoke to them again. I ended up getting bombarded the other night while I was awake with a crying baby, and I told them via text I didn't sign up to be their babysitter when I married my husband, and they needed to accept my no because nothing was going to change. They said I signed up to be part of the family, and part of being family is babysitting to help, so I'm the a-hole. am I? Not today, home. Your in-laws are entitled pricks, and I'm glad your husband is backing you up. Just go ahead and set their contacts to mute on your phone and continue enjoying new motherhood. Yeah, if it was second or third emergency contact, it may be asked to watch the in-laws' kids 5 to 6 times a year during your non-working hours. I might say that's what family does. But every day? No, that's what mom and dad does. Not today, home. My aunt was a registered childminder, like private home daycare in the UK. My entire childhood, she was asked to take care of me twice. Both occasions were last-minute emergencies. Once, my parents were stuck in a snowdrift waiting for rescue. The second time, my mother had been admitted to hospital. Those are scenarios where you call free emergency childcare from a relative what you describe as a paid-for, planned, and contracted service. Not today, home. This should be top comment. What you described as a paid-for, planned, and contracted service. Bam! To add, OP, you are caring for your own infant child, and you are not working. Tell them that. No means no. Also, if/when you return to work in your field, they can pay you for time and services if you so choose to take them on as clients, because you are a professional. Not today, home. What are they offering to do for you in exchange? Nothing, literally. And they weren't even offering food to feed all these kids. Good God, shut it down. I'm sorry that they took your care and labor for granted. You deserve respect and gratitude for your caring work.